So today, I would like to talk to you about risk management for a few minutes. As we all know, risk management is the poor cousin of good project management planning. Risk management is the discipline that often gets overlooked, but this is also where the big savings are. How often have you been to that lessons learned meeting where the same complaints and issues get raised as in the last project? So how do we break out of this cycle? If we approach it diligently in a structured manner and continue throughout the project lifecycle with regular reviews, risk management can be that powerful tool for business improvement. So let's take a little bit more in-depth look at risk management. First of all, what is risk? It's the uncertainty in a project. In every project, when we put together the project plan, determining how we're going to build this thing, you know that there's uncertainty. It's either in the tasks, the what are you going to do and how are we going to go about this, or it could be in the time frame, in the durations, do we have enough time? In the dates, will there be weather incidents or weather situations cropping up, heating and hoarding, or is our time frame going to move? Look also at possible risks with either the subcontractors that we've hired or with the availability of our own skilled trades. In every project plan that you put together, there are unknowns and issues, little doubts and intuitions. Risk management is the process of identifying and voicing those concerns and analyzing the risks to make a sound decision on whether these uncertainties are something that we have to deal with right away, or we can put them off, deal with them later, or maybe just ignore them completely. It's an examination process, a verification process of those intuitions that we all have. Now, what happens in real life? Of course, we have the risks and the things that we're unsure of. And as the project gets underway, however, there are so many other things to take care of. And then when we're in the building process, there are bigger, more immediate concerns. Uncertainties decrease in size and importance. They get buried in the day-to-day, and they stay there until they appear on site as changes, as missing supplies or materials that didn't show, change orders, work stoppages, labor shortages, and more. So what do we do? What are the construction industry best practices today? Step one is to identify the risks. And to do that, we take a second look at contract documents, IFCs, the geotech, surveys, suppliers, subcontractors, especially the project plan, and the lessons learned, of course, from previous and similar projects. Step two, then, is to quantify the risks that you've identified. Assigning the numbers allows us to compare the risks and prioritize. Step three is to develop response plans for each of these risks. The earlier that you develop a plan to deal with the untoward events that happen, the less expensive and the less time-consuming that mitigation will be. It's easier to make alternate plans, find other suppliers or subcontractors, change materials, even modify the design early on in the process. Once the trades are standing there and ready to go, the alternatives are few and limited. Finally, we monitor and control. Throughout the project life cycle, at every project management meeting, we review the risk management plan. We identify what has happened, the risks that have happened, and the ones that are no longer a concern. We review them on a weekly basis, even if it's just a cursory review. Record and keep this information for the next project. Determine whether the risks that we have identified are occurring, or if the time has passed and they're not going to occur, they're no longer relevant. If they are happening, put your response plans into effect. To minimize the work effort, the record keeping, the tracking that is required, use one of the software tools that are out there and available. No one likes doing the administrative, the paperwork, and this will just make the effort so much easier. The software tool that I'm using here to generate the reports that you see on the screen is RiskMP. It'll lead you through the risk identification process, quantification and monitoring requirements. The reports then are simple to generate And now you have something that's easy to read. It's easy to do a cursory review of these risks at every week at the project management meeting, and simple to update. And at the end of a very few projects, you will be left with a fantastic database of risks on which to base your risk management plan on for future projects and your whole business improvement plans. Thank you for your time and attention, and I look forward to sharing other tidbits with you in future project management sessions.